Steph Fontaine blends storytelling with live art. Sometimes painting, sometimes movement, and always improvisation. Get ready for an experience that invites you to see yourself in a whole new way. The Spoken Canvas. Steph?
No! Don't do it. It's too risky. Yeah, who do you think you are? If it's not perfect, don't bother. Welcome to the voices in my head. And that was just 4. There's more. We all recognize them, I think. I hope. They're the inner critics and the veers that have this inner dialogue going on and on and on. Especially when you try to follow courageous action. But I'm an artist. Not only am I an artist, I'm a very, very, very curious artist. And I started to wonder who these voices are. And I wanted to explore them using art. But that's too easy. I need your help. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to get out of your chair, but I will ask you to use your voice, at least a few of you, to vocalize what some of your voices say. We already met my protector, my doubter, the perfectionist. Are there any fellow perfectionists in the room? I feel you. And of course, the pleaser. I think there's quite a lot of recovering pleasers, and I'm a recovering pleaser. So what I wanted to do is peel back the layers and look at what's underneath the surface. Because something artists can do is make the invisible visible. Now I only have 12 minutes, so I did a bit of a Blue Peter job and put a little bit of background on it. Or maybe that was the perfectionist, we'll never know. So what I would like, maybe 3-4 people, because I'm not a very fast writer, believe it or not, to call out the kind of things your inner critic or fear voices say to you. It's your moment to be courageous.
You're not good enough.
Not good enough.
It's never going to happen.
Too old.
Too old, never gonna happen.
Are you sure? You'll never finish anything.
Never finish.
Who are you kidding?
Who are you kidding? Wow.
You're so bad.
Say again?
You're so bad.
Say again with a little bit more oomph.
You are so bad.
You are so bad, and I'm clearly getting deaf.
If you really want to get you, then try harder.
Ooh. You would have tried hard. I need a bigger canvas. Clearly, we all experience these voices. But what's the problem with that? It's private, no one knows. Just put on a smile. I'll tell you why it matters. It matters because they speak louder than that intuition or that beep, beep, beep Maggie was telling us about. And when they're running wild up there, we don't hear that beep, 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 or we hear that beep, 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 and that makes them get louder because they're panicking. Trust me, I know. And I think you do too. That's why you laughed. So what can we do about it? The problem with these voices, is they keep us stuck in loops. Mine were overgiving, overperforming, overworking, on and on and on. I didn't even realise I was in it. It's like this invisible loop until something, at least for me, happened in my life. A lifequake, or a disruption, or a really big change. And I heard some of those speakers earlier talking about it. There's a big change, and that shifts things. Well, that's what happened to me. I had been giving, thinking, if I give enough, everything's going to be okay. Until my marriage ended. When my marriage ended, I let the dust settle a little bit. And you know what happened? I got to step back. As I stepped back, I started to see for the first time the people-pleasing loop. It was a big one, ingrained, unconsciously, until that moment. It was kind of one of those goosebump, wake-up call moments. And it was in that moment I said, enough. Like the director at the beginning, cut, enough. And I decided to make a promise to myself to become unapologetically me. I didn't know what it meant at the time, but I did make that promise. And then another life disruption, redundancy. Followed by 216, yes, I counted, I'm not a numbers person, but I counted 216 job rejections. I was a finalist for 4 of them, and then a very humble moment, because I've never been a finalist and not got a job before, I didn't even get the ones I was a finalist for. So you can imagine what my protector and my doubter were saying inside my head. What are you going to do? How are you going to pay the bills? You're not good enough. Until I remembered. I remember what I do when I get stuck with a tangerine painting. I take a step back, usually make a cup of tea because I am British after all. But I step back to get a new perspective. And it's magic, because from over here, it looks not too bad. Okay. But when we're close to the problem, oh boy, can you see all those flaws. That ain't good enough. No, that's not working. Ooh, no. So you've got to step back, and it gives you a new perspective. And in the redundancy 216 rejection moment, when I stepped back from that, I started to see it differently. I thought, maybe this is not a punishment or a failure, and maybe this is some kind of universal course correction. Ooh, that's kind of exciting. I don't know what to do with it, but it's exciting. So, the magic of putting your artist hat on and stepping back, do you know what it does? It gives you a new way of seeing from a new angle that you hadn't thought about before. And that starts things moving. Let me show you what I mean. Now, to most of you, this might be a slinky, but no. This is what your life looks like when you're stuck in a loop. Same thoughts, same behaviours, and guess what? Same results. Thank you. I proved it over and over. Always. It works. But I was sick of it. I was sick of my loops, at least the ones I became aware of, because I'm sure there's still a few lurking out there that I don't know yet, but I wanted to break free. And I'm not going to sing like Freddie Mercury, because I can hear that song in my head when I say those words. I wanted to break free from the loop. So I thought, Steph, do that thing you do when you get stuck with a painting. Get a new step-back distance. Try and look at it from new angles. And what happens? Things start to shift. It's still circular. But instead of going round and round, stuck in a pattern, autopilot, boring, or terrifying, whatever, but round and round, each twist and turn, I started gaining even more new perspectives, more awareness, more freedom, and guess what? More unapologetically me. Oh. And those little moments, because in the beginning it's only little moments, like little tasters, like the apéro you just had. It wasn't the main course, but I got a feel for it, and I wanted more, so I kept on. Even though I wobbled, I kept on taking those twists and turns and being conscious of those patterns and reframing them. And that took me on the spiral of transformation. Because loops, they keep you stuck, safe, sometimes, small, but spirals, they set you free. So you're probably wondering now, come on Steph, please tell us how to do it. Because that's beautiful, I like the slinky, I like the painting, but how do we do it? The first step, you might have guessed it already, is to step back like an artist. Put that curiosity hat and find a new way to see what you can't see yet. Because there's always another way to see and reframe things. Make a cup of tea if you have to. Put something in it if you have to. That's mind expanding sometimes. Stepping back. Now, the thing I did wrong, I'm going to share my mistakes, is I was fighting the voices. Because they're always there. Even when you're on the spiral, it's not like, la-di-da, I'm on the spiral now, it's so beautiful. No. It's hard. It's challenging. So what I would do is get to know them with my curiosity. If you work with teams and you have this shared vision that you need to reach, if your team is not on board with where you all want to go, so my soul, my intuition wants to go there, but the voices in my head are like, nah, no thanks, too scary. So you've got to get to know them and understand how you can collaborate all together to go wherever that is. Standing up here, I heard someone who left their corporate job and became an entrepreneur. Doesn't matter what it is, but you've got to get the voices collaborating with you. Otherwise, it's just like, it's really awkward and you get exhausted. So that's what I started to do. I got curious, I started to name them all, you met 4, and then I changed their roles. I said, instead of protector, you will now be the guardian of alignment, and instead of doubter, you will now be the guide of discernment. And I'm going to buddy you with curiosity and trust, and you all have to work together to do this thing that we've been a bit wary about. And when you do that, that's when the magic really starts to happen. Because when you're collaborating with them instead of resisting them, you demote them, I suppose, but you're still working with them. They're not the ones in your director's chair anymore. And for so long, my voices were calling all the shots. So get the perspective, get to know them, collaborate with them, and make sure it's your beautiful butt sat in your creative director's chair, because that's when you start to feel free. Doesn't matter what happens in life, you're calling the shots. That's when you feel more like you and you're aligned. And that's when the magic really starts to happen. So now that you know that loops keep you stuck, small, but safe, and loops and spirals set you free, I'm going to ask one question and go, because I've seen the red there, sorry. I'm going to ask you one question before you go off. And that is, who is sat in your creative director's chair? Thank you.
I told you we were in for a treat. Thank you so much, Steph.